gets better. Say that it gets better. O-P-S, I'm O-P-S, I'm gay-ish.
Hello, everyone in the podcast universe. This is Gayish.
The podcast that may not be an egg, but it's still over easy.
Oh, just add vodka.
And a little Tabasco sauce.
I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz.
And we're here to bridge the gap between sexuality and actuality. And Kyle,
Mike,
we're going to talk about Russia.
why are we talking about Russia?
Because I don't know. Because I'm going to Russia.
You are going to Russia, and I'm a little bit scared for you, but I'm not telling you that because I want you to have confidence going to the terrifying country that you're going to.
But first,
I
have some other things to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so first of all, last time on soccer, you talked about the Colin Martin, the gay soccer player.
The Colin Martin,
Who is now the only out active playing gay professional athlete in the United States.
Yeah, in like one of the major leagues.
But he played in his first game after coming out and got a standing ovation.
Oh,
Isn't that adorable?
that's lovely.
Yeah. He joined the game in the 79th minute, and some members of the crowd waved rainbow scarves as he ran onto the pitch for Minnesota United's game against Toronto.
That's so awesome.
His teammates also showed their support for the player, with some running over to him to greet him with hugs and high fives when the game ended. He's also real handsome.
I mean, yeah, both the gay soccer boys that we talked about are pretty.
Pretty fantastic.
They're fairly pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
And they play soccer, which is always hot.
You know they have that hot soccer bod.
Yeah.
And a tight little soccer ass. I want to slap it.
Wow.
What?
Nothing. I mean, when you
I just went to a place in my head that no one else belongs.
It's a bootylicious sport.
It is so bootylicious. Beyonce couldn't even handle it.
Then, do you know who Alex Jones is?
Who? Alex Jones.
He does InfoWars. He has that just like batshit crazy right-wing
Yes.
thing. Okay, so apparently RuPaul has a show called Drag Tots.
Wait, Drag Tots?
Drag Tots.
Okay.
And it is a children's show voiced by drag queens. And they do things like, if you want to be in drag, you need to read because reading is important. Like,
And then do they talk about reading someone and like the insults you could throw at them?
Exactly. Teach them how to be bitches.
Stay in school. Drag school.
Yeah. But Alex Jones just went ape shit about this show. He just could not contain his insanity. He said that Drag Tots is the sexualization of toddlers. He said that drag is a celebration of hideousness. And he said that drag queens are putting chemicals in the water to help with everything, and it's going to get a lot easier from here on out to bring down this third dimension. It's not clear what dimension he thinks drag queens come from.
And he's a two-dimensional proponent?
I guess.
A rare proponent of, I only want 2 dimensions?
3 dimensions
Too
are
much.
unnatural.
God
they're an abomination.
God created the world in 2 dimensions. It's gays that made us 3-dimensional. Also, what's with people thinking the water's getting tainted?
I don't know.
Like, apparently all the queers are putting so much shit in the water that's fucking everything up, including the 3rd dimension.
Yep.
Oh, God.
He said, we're going to destroy you. You will ascend to hell in the reverse order.
Ascend to hell in the reverse order. This is like
There's 3 dimensions in that sentence.
which is why he's so angry. Even he speaks in 3-dimensional words. I'm just imagining like a bunch of drag queens backing off an arc
in heels and doing it
descending
great.
order. I don't know.
They now know fear, he said, because we're coming like the villagers in the night with the torches burning bright with fire. Fire is not the weapon of evil. Fire is the weapon of good, and it will consume you. You need to fear God. Your God has stolen your soul. Your God took away the key that you gave it, and now you stare into the fathomless depths of eternal phantom zone destruction. And you want to take as many children with you down that hole as you can, so you can clutch their souls as you fall towards the black heart of that black hole. He is unhinged.
Fire is good? Hold on. Okay, maybe that's the part I most disagree with. fuck the tiny baby drag queens. I'm like, fire is good. I've never seen like, God up there chilling with fire all around him. I just imagine that as a devil thing.
Well, because apparently he takes the Dante Alighieri vision of hell, where the ninth circle of hell is actually the coldest. Dante's Inferno. Yeah.
Isn't there a three-headed dog somewhere in that mix?
No.
Oh, that's a different thing.
That's Cerberus. That's Greek mythology.
I mean, it's all Greek mythology to me.
Soon the icy cold of hell will embrace you forever. Soon you will pass through and on, never to return to this dimension, never to ascend, but down, 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 down into that black hole you're going, chained. You are losers, and you are always to be there to test the righteous.
Whew. I'm getting a little bit like we stole a key from God, but we're going down chains. So I think we can just unlock it with our key. I think he's mixing up his metaphors a little bit, or I'm not. Yeah.
Some of the crazier things that he said about queer people. In January, he claimed that butch lesbians were predisposed to domestic violence and eating brains.
Okay. Wait. Does he think pussies' nicknames are brains?
I don't know.
I went down on her brain.
And like, I would think that the eating brains thing, like, you would lead with that. He buried the lead there. It's like, yeah, they have a domestic violence problem. Oh, and they eat brains.
Oh, by the way, your brains, watch out. Lesbians are coming for him.
He has also accused trans rights activists, who he said were mentally ill, of creating cyborgs to destroy civilization.
I'm just so impressed with what we get credit for when, like, if they really did build cyborgs, like, that's pretty impressive.
Fantastic.
Right? Yeah, and that's cool.
Good job.
Yeah, way to go.
Good job, trans rights activists. Anyway, I just can't with him. And the other thing is he has 23 million followers on YouTube. This is not a unheard of, like, I didn't get a hold of the crazy guy that lives in my dumpster downstairs. Right. Like, this guy has an audience.
I think the crazy guy in your dumpster makes a little bit more sense than him.
Yeah, right.
He's like, give me $1 and I'll fuck you. And I'm like, there's logic there that I get.
There are some hot homeless guys. It's weird.
It's so uncomfortable where you're like, ooh, look at that hot guy. Like, oh, he's all shirtless. And then you get up close and you're like, oh, he's dirty and smells really bad.
The last thing I have is just to say that Panic at the Disco, the lead singer, Brendan Urie, I don't know how to say his last name, Urie, is pansexual.
Ooh.
He says, quote, "It's just people that I'm attracted to."
Should we explain pansexual?
Well, I can use his words to describe it.
Oh,
he
cool.
said, "I'm definitely attracted to men. It's just people that I'm attracted to. I guess this is me coming out as pansexual."
And also the distinction between pansexual and bisexual is that when you're pansexual, you're okay with including frying pans in your three ways.
Right.
Yeah. Like, you just like to, like, shove the end of it right up there.
I think you can buy a giant pan-shaped bed at IKEA.
Yeah, and then you put on your egg costume and you lay there and you go, I'm frying, I'm an egg, and then you both come.
Let us know if we've got it right.
Yeah, but pansexuals, let us know if we got it. No, the idea is, it's different than bisexual in that it's more inclusive. Bisexual is, men and women. Pansexual then is and everything in between. It's kind of I don't want to say like all encompassing or more encompassing than bisexual, because I think like bisexual probably was just because we didn't know as much about gender when that coin was termed. Sure.
Term was coined?
No, Mike. This is my words are operating in 3 dimensions. So this is what I say.
Well, and you are going down, 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 down.
I mean, he has a point. In chains, too. It sounds about right.
So you want to talk about Russia?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So actually that is a good lead in, because that like craziness kind of is like that InfoWar dude's craziness is like, I was reading all this stuff about Russia and it just made me sad and scared. And that actually, like, that kind of rhetoric is unfortunately very relevant to Russia and their laws and their homophobia.
Yep.
Why did you?
Great.
You're good.
Let's talk about my trip first for a little bit. I took Russian in high school and have sort of kept up with it. I'm by no means fluent, but I'm passable. I'm confident that I'm going to be fine from a communication standpoint. And as long as people don't want to talk politics, mostly because I'll just start crying. And I love trains. I've always been fascinated with trains, and the Trans-Siberian Railway is the granddaddy of all train rides. So I am on, 2 days from now, who knows when this airs. I'm already there whenever this airs.
Yeah.
Flying from Seattle to Vladivostok, which is on the east coast of Russia. It's on the Pacific coast. It's basically like 200 miles from North Korea. And then I am hopping on the Trans-Siberian Railway, and I'm riding it all the way across the entire continent until Moscow.
Is it operated by Amtrak by chance?
No. Whew. Even better, the Russian government.
Oh, great. If there's one time where I was like, maybe it's cool that Amtrak operates this. So other than taking Russia, is there anything... taking Russia? What did I say? Taking Russian.
Yeah.
Is there any other draw to Russia itself?
I mean, there's a lot of history, and there's a lot of history that we don't really understand. We're not exposed to much, but I'm very interested in the Russian Revolution and the czars, and then the fall into communism and the Soviet Union, and all of that is really very interesting to me. So I'm hoping to get exposed to more history, and I think history goes in there better, like your brain absorbs it better when you're actually around
there,
where it happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, my dad and I, when we were traveling all over the place in the South here a couple of months ago, we went to Vicksburg. And now, like, my knowledge about Vicksburg and the Civil War is just way better.
I literally know nothing about that.
Yeah. See? You should go. Although you'd probably forget.
It's no use, Mike. Like, history, I guess I'm doomed to repeat it.
Should we say what's happening while I'm gone?
Well, yeah. Well, there's we did a little bit of pre-work, so we'll still have episodes every week while Mike is gone. The show must go long, and we're gonna have some stuff pre-recorded, but we're also gonna have a special surprise co-host.
Yeah.
So you'll get to wait for that and find out in another couple weeks.
Whatever you do, you can't love them more than me.
I don't like you, though. So that's going to be very difficult to achieve. I'll ask them to be very condescending to me. Okay. and I'll feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to like come into your house because this is where we record and like do all the stuff without you.
Yeah. Good luck.
I can't live. I can't breathe. I will never eat a tree without you. I don't remember how that song goes. It was very touching though when he actually sang it, not when I did it. Anyway, yeah. So you're not nervous.
I am nervous. Although you have to qualify that. Like, am I nervous about being gay in Russia?
Yeah.
A little bit. I think I've been told that I actually kind of look Russian. Oh. I've had Russians approach me before and like start speaking Russian to me here in Seattle. Just because apparently I have a Russian-esque face. Anyway, I also don't think I scream gay. Not that that's a good thing, but I think
passing,
I pass
which is something that I want to talk about in a future episode of like passing. There's like pros and cons.
Yeah.
And definitely like there's a lot of growing up, like a lot of benefit in not being bullied. And but this is one of them. Like being passing means you can go to a place and pass and hopefully not face any discrimination.
Yep. I've been told that the trains are quite safe. So I'm gone for 20 days. 6 of those days will be on a train because that's a long fucking train ride. I'm taking one stop in the middle. I think that if anything was going to happen to me, it would be while I was in Moscow or St. Petersburg. But even those...
Both of those are pretty liberal, right? Relative,
comparatively speaking, yes.
Yeah.
They even have both of those cities even have gay scenes, like bars that are permanently open.
I read that one in Moscow, a well-known one, is called Propaganda.
Yeah.
Which I love that name. That's like perfect.
Yeah. I'm not nervous. I am super nervous about the trip. I've never traveled by myself anywhere, much less Russia.
Yeah.
And I'm going to learn a lot.
Tell us. And what we'll do is we'll check in when you call in and when you come back of how it fit or did not fit your ideas of what it's going to be like. So we're going to talk about, well, I'm going to tell you about how shitty Russia is for gay people, and hopefully you won't be scared then, but then we'll see. We're doing our prep work now. We're taking our prep right now. We're getting ready.
Here's something, quick aside. I don't know whether to take my prep or not. And I mean, I don't mean like put it in my mouth. I mean,
bring it with you.
Bring it with me and continue taking it.
Because if someone finds it,
will they ask like, what is this? And they will assume that I'm either either queer or have AIDS or both.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Can you put it in just a baggie without any, and you can be like, it's my
well,
birth
that doesn't
control.
look suspect at all. Here's my Ziploc bag of pills.
I mean, they'd probably be more cool with that than gay people, actually. Just tell them it's like ecstasy or something, and they'll be like, come on.
These are really big blue Tic Tacs.
No calories.
Yeah. So,
is that the gayest thing you're bringing other than yourself?
Yes, I think so.
You're not bringing any Playgirls? Is that still a magazine?
Yeah.
Okay. Or any printouts of Sean Cody models or anything?
I mean, I think I'm going to bring my laptop, and it's got some gay shit on it.
Oh, it's got lots of gay shit.
And then I'm ending the trip after spending 17 days in Russia, going across the country and hitting different cities. I'm going to Berlin, Germany for Berlin Pride at the end of the month.
That's awesome. I've never been to an international Pride thing.
Me neither.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I hope so. If I don't, I'm just afraid, Germans are so intense and super sexual and are down with everything. Prostitution is legal in Berlin, so I'm worried about, talking to a guy and then, apparently now I owe him money because I didn't speak German.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm worried that I'm going to end up getting locked in a box full of urine and drugged down the street with a blindfold on top of a horse. I've been told that if you have any bizarre combination of kink that you can describe, there's a whole cafe dedicated to it.
You're specifically nervous though about the box of urine. I get it.
That kind of thing. I think just accidentally signing up for something that I am not prepared for.
Yeah.
Because as we've discussed, I'm pretty vanilla and pretty inhibited.
But, maybe, Mike, you're in the box.
My dick in a box. And the rest of me, too.
Piss in a box.
So, Russia. 5% of Russians are openly...
Oh, we're getting into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah.
is there more? Did you have more questions?
Oh, no.
Okay.
You're ridiculous. And you're great. And don't die.
Great.
No, I just wasn't prepared for that transition. So
Oh.
I'm just... Oh, yeah, and you're doing the numbers. Everything's upside down, Mike.
I know, right?
Okay, go for it. Wait, you said 5%?
5% of Russians apparently identify as LGBT.
How do they know that?
There have been multiple international organizations that have done groundwork in Russia because Russian state numbers say there basically are no gay people.
Right.
But these are independently gathered statistics. The most troubling of which, in my opinion, is that Russia is one of the very few places that is a Western country where support for gay marriage is going the wrong direction. They're becoming more hostile to gay marriage over time. So in 80% of Russians said that they were against same-sex marriage this year.
Fuck.
It was 59% in 2005. So it's swung 21 points against. Now, in between there is the laws changed about gay stuff, which I know that you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
The number of people who think gay people should be allowed to get married has decreased from 14% in 2005 to 8% in 2015. So, and only 3% of respondents said that LGBT people should be able to bring up children. And another 3% supported the idea of marriage, but said children should not be brought up in such households. The number of people who consider gay people dangerous and said that they should be, quote, isolated from society has grown from 12 to 20% since 2004. And 15% said homosexuals were, quote, normal people, but that they wouldn't socialize with them.
I'm just going to be crying this whole episode. It's just so it sucks when like you're just happy to be considered normal. Like that's like a success.
Yep. I haven't even gotten to the scary part.
Oh God. Okay.
35% of Russians in a 2015 study said that they think being gay is either a medical or social disease caused by a problem with your biology or severe trauma. There's something wrong with you if you're gay, basically.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, sounds to me like the 70s and 80s in the U.S. before.
Yeah, that's true.
We did like some studies although I did see like, I think it was in the 90s that they overturned or like said it technically wasn't a mental disorder.
Well, it was legalized in 1993.
Oh, right.
As part of the fall of the Soviet Union, and the Russian Federation was coming into
Don't
power.
you try to sneak in history at me, Mike. I'm on to you. Do not try this.
They were actually under a lot of pressure from other European countries to decriminalize homosexuality. And in 1993, they did. So at least in that regard, gay stuff is legal.
Yeah.
But they're finding ways around that, too.
Yeah.
41% of Russians said the authorities should persecute people with, quote, untraditional sexual preferences in order to, quote, exterminate the phenomenon. So they think that they should go after gay people because that's going to get rid of gay people.
Yeah.
Which,
again, like, gay people are not the ones having gay babies. It's straight people. Kill any straight person that has a gay... I mean, don't. But, like, I don't know what... Obviously logic is just out the window and everything, like, so it's like it's hard to be like, this doesn't make logical sense, like they don't give a fuck, like it's not about that, but like
your bullshit is bullshit.
Your bullshit is so bullshit, and I just can't.
Only 12% agreed that the government should acknowledge gay rights and protect the LGBT community from discrimination. In this Alexei Firsov, who is a communications director for one of these organizations, said, quote, in this aspect, Russia is about twice as conservative as even China. Not known for its gay friendliness, by the way. That didn't go without saying.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we, Russia, are swimming against the current, strengthening despite global trends, intolerance toward homosexual relationships. This indicator might serve as a parameter of national identification, he said.
I mean, that's what, like, it's so interesting that that's a trend across so many of these, like, nationalistic, xenophobic views, and that leads to, like, a lot of hate. I think the idea of, like, your country is first, which America's dumb and says that all the time, and I forget, was it, like, Michelle Obama or something that was like, what are we first at? Like, I want America to be number one, but we need, like, there's a lot of work to do, but, like, for some reason, your country being number one means that like implies that everyone else is worse than you, and it brings about hate. And
Yep. I've been reading a lot lately about the difference between patriotism and nationalism, and it hinges on exactly what you were just touching on, that nationalism is about shitting on everybody else, that your country must be the best and fuck everybody else.
And with America, sometimes the shit is bombs. Sometimes we're shitting bombs on other places because we're so fucking incredible.
Yeah. But patriotism is loving your country, wanting it to do better, and that in that vein, criticizing your government is one of the most patriotic things that you can do.
Yeah. 100%. Which is why, like, which is crazy about people saying that I'm making this about US, it's about Russia. But the kneeling players of the football game, like, they are the most patriotic people wanting things to improve for America and for American lives. Like, I don't see how that could be bad.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Plenty of people disagree with me, though.
I know. Fuckers are everywhere.
Fuckers are everywhere, and I hear their bullshit is bullshit.
Yeah. Something we didn't talk about that sort of weighs in here. Over 40% of Russians consider themselves members of the Russian Orthodox Church. So it's not like there are multiple religious denominations out there like we have in the United States. This is 4 out of every 10 people goes to one church.
Yeah.
The Russian Orthodox Church, who is super unfriendly to gay people.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out why some of these things are happening, and the growth in the Orthodox Church is part of the influence on why gay rights are going backwards, which some people have written, and they don't like when I make jokes about religion and church, and I feel I understand that because there are good people doing good work, just like our friend Joseph Peters Matthews, but I still feel the right to make fun of religion in every way because of what all the negative things they've done to gay rights.
Yeah.
And this is, just another example of that. That's why I make Jesus jokes. He's stupid and his cloak is stupid. I don't know. That was good.
I would think you'd be down with Jesus because he turns water into wine. Maybe if he turned water into rosé, he'd be more down.
Yeah. Did it specify water into Merlot, water into a Sauv Blanc, water into something shitty like beer?
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not dieting in July, so I'm drinking beer.
I know. We're
like I'm
back. You opened up a dumb lime Bud Light that is not a sponsor, but should be. I need to get on that.
Bud Light Lime. Sponsor us.
Or you taste bad. Those are the options.
Yes.
I have a box of rosé that I was told I need to clear out, and I was like, great. This is my calling.
Yep.
I'm fucking hot. I'm sweating.
Yeah, me too.
Alcohol will cool me down.
Oh, yeah, that always works.
I had some hot coffee. I don't know. Should I tell you about
so what's going down?
It's not great. It's just we're gonna have to do something to lighten this up because it's just gonna be depressing the whole time, right? Okay. So I'm gonna talk about the gay propaganda law that is in Russia, went into place in 2013.
Okay.
I take it you've heard of it because you told me about it.
Yeah.
So this was a federal law. The Russian name of the law is, quote, on protecting children from information advocating for a denial of traditional family values.
It's always for the fucking children.
Always watch out for the children. Of course, at the same time, children are seeing their parents kiss and straight couples on TV shows. And I don't know, again, logic is not going to help anyone in this, unfortunately, but we see straight shit all the time.
Yep. But little Timmy shouldn't have to see you and your boyfriend hold hands.
Nope.
Because
that's how you rub AIDS together. Two gay people rub their hands together, form a flint of gay, and it just sparks the entire area.
Yep. So why should we have to not hold hands so that you don't have to talk to your shitty kid about gay people?
Yeah. I hated Timmy anyway. Slap him. That's fine. No, that's terrible. So what this law did is made illegal there's a lot of vagary. Mm-hmm. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Vagary in the law itself, which is part of the problem. They made illegal the propagandization of non-traditional sexual relationships. And particularly they're worried about, for the kids, they're worried about displays of anything pro-LGBT in front of minors. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is a minor? What is propaganda? What, no one really has defined those, and it's so broad that they can basically do what they want. So even though homosexuality is legal there, it's I don't.
As long as nobody sees it.
Exactly. So is it legal if a gay fucks in the forest? Does anyone see it, or do they get thrown in jail? I don't. Okay. So since that law, LGBT hate crimes doubled.
Wow.
Yeah. So part of the problem, of course, is the law itself and what the law justifies the government to do to gay people. But it's also the message of supporting, people are now feeling bolder and justified and very, very outward about their LGBT hate. And so what?
Then my brain is so fucked up. You said bold and justify, and those are both things that you do in Microsoft Word.
It less justifies hate. I wanted to page break it onto the next, but and one of the criticisms we talked in, I think the last episode about the World Cup is there, and before that the Olympics were there, and when this law came about, so the Olympics in Sochi hadn't happened yet, and so people were like, well, but the Olympics have an discrimination policy. So and Russian officials were like, no, it's fine. It won't conflict with that. It's cool. A lot of this is just
these are not the Olympics you're looking for.
come on in. It's fine. So it's just the Russian government is yeah, it's cool. We'll have no. You can still have the Olympics here. A fucking course.
Fuckers are everywhere.
Okay. So I want to tell you a few people that have been fined or had repercussions because of this
Oh,
law.
God. Okay.
It's actually, I mean, a lot of them are actually just fines, which is good. I mean, not good, but like, I don't know. Okay. So the first person, very first arrest was like within a day of after the law passed. Dmitry Izakov, who's 24, was carrying a pro-gay sign. He did a trial run like the day before and then did again. They arrested him, fined him 4,000 rubles. Mike,
Okay.
you need to know this. What's that translate to in American money?
Approximately $80.
115. Maybe it's changed since this article was written.
So
Since
I've been
2013.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right now it's 62 to 1. So I've been training myself to divide by 50 so that whatever number I come up with, it's actually cheaper than that.
You didn't memorize the historical value too?
No.
Okay. Well, fine.
I'm sorry.
You can play it fast and loose with your currency conversions.
Apparently Fast and Loose will end you up in jail there. So,
I mean, the fast is like get in and get out and keep going. The editor-in-chief of a newspaper. Editor-in-chief of a newspaper was fined for reporting a story about a gay teacher who was fired.
yeah.
So like the line, like they didn't do anything gay. They published a story about a gay person.
Yep.
And the line specifically that they cited was the article included a quote from the teacher that he basically said, like, the fact that I exist is proof that homosexuality is normal.
Yeah.
So the fact that they included that, his quote, they got fined for that. 50,000 rubles. The day after Tim Cook came out,
Great.
this is already like what the Tim Cook came out, so they removed an iPhone-shaped memorial to Steve Jobs. Weird
Now
enough.
Apple is gay.
Yeah, they took it down because there was this memorial in university, and they said, well, minors are there.
Good God. Although interestingly enough, the Apple symbol, it might be apocryphal, but there's a rumor that because Alan Turing, who broke the Enigma code for the British in World War II and is basically the founding father of computer science, he committed suicide by eating a tainted apple, and that the Apple symbol is a memorial to him. So basically I'm saying all Apple is gay.
Yeah, so they should have taken it down long ago.
That's right.
I thought it was from like a reference to like Adam and Eve and biting the apple. That doesn't make any logical sense. Yours makes more sense. I don't know why they would do a
Yours makes sense.
Well, like why would they make a Bible reference about like what unleashed evil into the world?
Because the apple is from the tree of knowledge. So eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge is what let Adam and Eve realize that they were naked. But the
snake, Mike.
I know.
It's scary.
It talked.
Why do you don't take fruit from a talking snake? I've said it time and time again. I've warned you. Okay. Another Apple related item. Russia investigated Apple after they released the emojis that were like gay. There's two boys or two girls or
Fucking kidding me.
well, like this is where it's just like you just have to run into a force more powerful than yourself. I think what happened, I'm making this up, they were like, oh, this gay thing, we got to investigate it. But what are they going to fucking do? Tell Apple to not include an emoji? Like, they're not going to do that. Like, so nothing happened of that. They said, like, it doesn't actually, it could be good or bad depending on the context. So it actually doesn't, it's not pro-gay necessarily, which I just doesn't make logical sense compared to the other things they fine people for. So it's just like, we can't go up against Apple, is my guess.
Yep.
Which sucks that like whoever the most powerful person is gets their way and everything. So what people are doing now because of this law is gay people who use online mostly channels to meet other gay people, like people will pose as gay people on these forums for hating gay people. Straight people certainly pretend to be gay a whole lot.
Yeah.
So they pretend to be gay people, go into, I think if you're gay, you want a job in this group because let me go online and pretend to be gay and chat up other gays. Like this boner is unrelated.
It's all from Mother Russia.
I just love justice. I got a justice erection. or acquaintances, because they are so homophobic in Russia, will either way, they'll try to trick people to go on a date with them. And then when they show up there, beat them or arrest them or whatever.
Wow.
Which is so scary because, like, I mean, for me, the internet was how I discovered a lot of this, because we didn't, you know, you don't talk about these things. So the internet was really important. And not knowing, like, not having the internet as an avenue to talk to people or even meet people, or even having acquaintances, like always, you know, doubting the people around you and not, it's like, it just sounds like.
So you're saying I should stay off of Scruff?
Don't don't, Mike. I'm kind of serious. They actually like try to set up these things to meet people and yeah.
What if I just check it once on the train?
Don't. Or at least turn off your location. So like if someone is on the train and you stay like, you know, 70 feet away, like as the train is moving, they could figure out that you're there and turn off your location. Also, do they use Scruff or do they use?
I think they use Hornet.
Oh yeah. Which I think when we talked about this, someone was like, how did you not make a joke about Hornet? Which fair person. Yes. We try to say we're comedy, but we failed you.
It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
You won't?
Oh, I probably will.
Mike.
What?
I mean,
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you know a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you? Okay, you tell me stuff.
So you're going to be mad.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to talk about history.
Oh God. Do I have to be involved in this part, or can you just handle this on your own?
Well, so one of my favorite things. So Russia apparently had like a crazy history when it came to gay people. As a matter of fact, when the Mongols invaded, they were shocked, was the word that they used. I'm going to guess it actually is disgusted at how much butt fucking was going on in 16th century Russia.
Huh.
That especially around Moscow, there was just somebody called it the gayest society since the Greeks.
I was gonna guess that. That's crazy.
And so there are lots of historical figures that are gay or presumed gay or bisexual. So,
which is also part of when people are like, let's go back to the history and the traditional. It's like, well, let's think about if we go all the way back. Oh, you wanted to be super gay, and the gayest thing since Greece was greased? Like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Grease up, because that's the way it used to be.
It used to be non-traditional, the non-traditional values are like straight people not fucking each other in the ass.
So one thing, Catherine the Great, who was an empress of Russia from 1762 to 1795, may have had a lesbian relationship with Princess Catherine Dashkova.
Okay. I violently disagree with that, based solely on the fact that they have the same name.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think they called each other like Cat and Katie? Cat and Katie licking each other's puss. We're ruling countries and licking each other's puss. Puss, puss, puss. Tongues in puss. We're rulers and we like to eat our pussies.
Russia.
That's my Catherine the Great song.
Well, Princess Catherine was the director of Russia's Academy of Sciences. So I don't think she was a ruler, except she ruled science.
Which is really the authority in our lives.
But when you talk about historical figures and whether they were gay or not, it gets really tricky, right? Because like gay wasn't a term. Like you can't identify as gay if that word doesn't exist, right? Like, so you just go based on like, what's the evidence that they were fucking people of the same gender or not, right?
Yeah.
And but then even if they were, would you call them, is it appropriate to call them gay? Blah, 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 blah. But
I feel like we've argued about this before where I'm like, yeah, they're gay because they were fucking gay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
right.
Yeah, I get it.
But one of the theories about Cat and Katie was that it actually, they weren't lesbians and they weren't banging, but that male historians were uncomfortable with strong women. And they created this lesbian narrative to masculinize her. I think that's really interesting. This idea that like strong women must be lesbians. I think we've seen a lot. Like you see it with Margaret Thatcher when she was Prime Minister of England or UK. You know, she had these sort of masculine traits that were emphasized. Angela Merkel in Germany is the most like dudish lady ever because she's running a country. And
Hillary
Clinton, everybody said that she must be lesbian. So there's this idea that maybe Kat and Katie weren't actually banging, but that this lesbian narrative emerged because of this phenomenon.
That's really interesting. I know history is told by those who own the books and the pens. What's the
history
phrase?
Is written by the victors?
That's exactly what I said. Same thing. They own the pens. The victors go the spoils pens.
All the victors I know are sluts.
But they're all hot.
It's true. Hot victors.
And I want to spoil them. Yeah. So that's where that phrase came from. Yeah, but it's like really interesting to think of. I would think always in the last 30 seconds I've known about this information, I have always thought that straight white dudes writing history would want to write that out. I also know that, straight white dudes, cis dudes are more accepting of lesbian relationships because they're they think it's hot. So it's less threatening to them. Yeah. But so I wonder if they just, that's so weird.
It's an interesting phenomenon for sure.
Yeah.
Other historic Russian queer people, Anna Yevrenova.
Mm-hmm. She was not great at tennis, but she was really popular for some reason.
Right?
No, who was she?
Well, so she was a feminist writer. She was a lawyer, literary editor. She was the first Russian woman to get a JD. So she was the first Russian lawyer, a woman who was a Russian lawyer.
That's really impressive.
She was also the first woman that got another JD, a Juris Doctorate, from a German university. So she was the first Russian woman lawyer and the first German female
Jesus.
lawyer.
Wow. Okay. Little side note.
Yeah.
So JD, what does that stand for?
Juris Doctorate.
So are they doctors?
Yeah.
Technically?
Technically.
Okay. That's what when I was drunk at a bar once and someone gave me their card, we had this conversation. I was like, oh, so you're a doctor? And he was like, yeah. And then I made out with him.
Great. That's all it takes? Probably takes less than that.
Doctorate, I would settle for high school grad. GED, fine by me.
So when she was younger, her family tried to arrange a marriage against her will, and she attempted suicide. And so she recovered. She recovered from that to go on to all of this greatness. She had received a letter from a Russian mathematician, Sofia Kovalevskaya, who said, you should probably just move to Germany. And this was her idea to sort of save Anna. But her family objected to her move. She could not get a Russian passport, and she had to sneak across the German border illegally in a swamp. She walked barefoot through a swamp to get into Germany.
Jesus. So when she tells her grandkids, I walked here through a swamp barefooted up, and they're like, come on, Grandma. And she's like, no, literally.
Yeah.
I'm still missing my left big toe.
Yep. And she had a long-term relationship with an author, Maria Fyodorova. Yeah. And was pretty unabashedly lesbian and out. But she was also a big deal, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Tchaikovsky, the composer.
Yeah.
Fucking gay.
So gay.
So gay. so gay.
Yeah. I've played one of his pieces, Prelude in Gay Minor.
Oh, yeah. And it has caused some confusion because the Soviets actively tried to remove all references to same-sex attraction, and they tried to turn him into a heterosexual. And
so they tried to turn him into a heterosexual through writing about him, or or actually
no. Oh,
okay.
He was a composer in the 19th century. Later, after he was dead,
Gotcha.
Soviet Union tried to retroactively they tried to retcon him as straight. But he sought the company of other men in his circle for extended periods. His first love was reportedly Sergei Kiryev, a younger fellow student at the Imperial School of Jurisprudence, and he called it, quote, my strongest, longest, and purest love. Anyway, he was just famous composer, super gay.
Gaytown, USA.
Yeah.
I mean, Gaytown, Russia.
This is already taking longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to speed up a little bit.
Okay. Do you have more queers to?
I have one more queer to talk about because it's my favorite one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it me?
So one of the czars, Tsar Dmitry the First, was Tsar of Russia from 1605 to 1606.
It's a long reign.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So this cat, fucking fantastic. He's also known as False Dmitri the First or Pseudo Demetrius the First.
Oh.
Because he basically stole the throne by lying about his dad. So
Wait.
So he claimed to be the youngest son of Ivan the Terrible, who was the conqueror before him. And he, in real life, was assassinated in 1591. And Dmitri made this story up and said, no, he didn't die. He moved to Poland and had me. I'm his stolen son. I'm the legitimate heir to the throne. So then he went and he told this story to the Polish. The Polish believed him and said, yeah, we'll send our army with you because you are the legitimate
Yeah.
dude.
Did he have to show them his long form birth certificate?
Apparently not. In the 16th century,
You
though,
just
like, it
what
doesn't
you say
matter.
is what you are.
And so Dmitri, he got the Cossacks on board, marched on Moscow, took over the throne, and was crowned Tsar.
Wow.
So he became the Tsar on a lie, which I think is just fantastic.
I mean, gay people fooling straight people is, I kind of love it.
Yeah. And then things didn't work out so well
The
because
fact that this was like a maybe 2 or less year reign made me think they might have figured something out along the way.
Yes. So we're going to go with it's true just because
It's more fun.
it's more fun.
Okay.
Not certain that this story is true, but it is rumored. This story is out there that he was found in bed with another dude. Could not shake that as like, you fuck one dude, you're gay. That checks out.
Yeah.
But then there was a raid on the Kremlin, and he tried to jump out the window and run away, but broke his leg when he jumped out the window. He fled to a bathhouse, attempted to disappear within, but he was recognized and dragged out, and then they killed him and the dude he was banging and drug him around town, drawn by horses, with a rope attached to his junk. So he's just naked, being dead body, drug around by his dick through the streets of Moscow.
Okay. To his credit, that is a strong dick. Right? Like to not get ripped off. Like I would. Props.
Yeah.
You're welcome, dude. He was fucking like that was good for him.
And
That's
then
terrifying. I'm making jokes, but that's a terrifying image. And
yeah. And then because he was apparently Polish and they found out that he was actually Russian, they cremated his body, gathered the ashes, put the ashes in a cannon, and fired the cannon toward Poland.
I just imagine the Polish people like backing out of Russia slowly, like, sorry, goodbye, see you later.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a fuck ton of gay people in Russia. A lot of them are artists. They're musicians. They're authors. They are also like smart scientists and lawyers. And it really goes to show that gay people are everywhere and always have been. And any attempts to say to the contrary are your bullshit is bullshit.
Yep, 100%. Oh, well, that was kind of happy. Well, I mean, other than the part about him getting drugged around by his genitals, that was kind of nice that, like, you know, a bunch of queers. You're good at ending on a downer. Okay, yep. I'm going to tell you. Oh, speaking of downers,
yep.
Man, I need to drink up just to like get through this. This made me so sad.
Oh God.
Chechnya.
Oh God.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not going anywhere near Chechnya. I just want you to know that.
That is legit. I would just go ahead and hate crime you before you left if you were said that, so that you wouldn't go. You'd be in the hospital and it'd be. Okay, so Chechnya is a federal subject of Russia. So it is,
it's like a state.
I thought it was like Puerto Rico does.
Oh,
Like they own it. I trust you over I didn't know what that. It's its own thing and it has its own ruler, but.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
No, you're right. Yep. You're right.
Oh my God. Okay. Good news of the segment. I was right about a thing about countries. Also, I was the one that did research about this, but like still, I trust you so much on everything. Like,
You really shouldn't.
no, you're like most of the time right. This is like a rare time. And it was like even barely wrong. Okay, yeah. So the words people have used for what's going on in Chechnya is an anti-gay purge.
Ooh.
They've called it a pogrom, which I didn't know what that is, but a mass cleansing.
Yeah.
Like basically the extermination of a specific group.
Yeah.
Like,
Anytime you say government and cleansing in the same sentence, it's just, yeah.
They are not using Lysol wipes. No. It is way different than that. So Chechnya was homophobic, but people it sounds a lot like Russia. People had to be closeted, but could still meet up, or, you could be, I mean, like they talk about, like you could have a social life, but like very private, of course.
Yeah.
And they didn't even share their names with gay people they met because they didn't want that level of, yeah.
Wait, do I need to come up with a fake name?
Oh, I'm like legitimately thinking if that would be a. No, I don't know, Mike. Okay. But in 2017, a group called Gay Russia applied for pride permits for a few cities, and they knew that they were going to get denied. They were doing that to build a case of anti-gay, whatever, that they could show people and be like, look, they denied these things. So when that happened, though, there was, again, religious groups that did like a counter protest against them, and the government basically just started picking up any gay people and torturing them. And
it's always religion.
So they called it a mass prophylactic cleansing of homosexuals.
Interesting. Prophylactic, is protection. Protection from what?
I mean, probably like
making more gay people, because that's how everybody seems
that's
to
how
think
it works.
Or
gay shit is the one thing that can't make kids. Yeah. So 100 gay men were arrested during the course of this. I think it's still going on, but this is like last year. This is when the news story broke about this. 3 people were killed. So the men that are arrested are getting beaten and electrocuted and tortured, trying to get names of other people. And the descriptions, I know, and the descriptions of the people coming back from this experience is they are beaten to the end of their life. Someone said someone was just like a bag of bones. Like they are just tortured, and they could be there for a day or weeks. I've
got to let you know, some dude spanks my testicles with a paddle. I'm just going to be like, Kyle Getz. His name is Kyle Getz.
Oh, 100. And I wouldn't blame you. I'd be like, yeah, because like I could not stand up to torture. Yeah, they'd even say we might torture, and I'd be like, I'll give you anything and everything and whatever you need, and like I'll draw you a map. And
I'll take you to his place.
Yeah, I could not. And it was actually, again, like trying to find, it's just so fucked up. It's like trying to find a little bit of someone who's gay. Like one of his friends gave up his name, and he said, I understand, we're only human. Like he, it could be easy to hold that against that person, but he understood it's not, you don't blame the person. If your boyfriend, cheats on you, the girls sometimes blame the girls. Like I see that. And it's like, no, it's the dude that's a dick. Like,
yeah, he's the trick ass hoe.
Exactly.
That's straight.
Thank you. I forgot to get that in there. You're welcome. One person that asked for that, Chris
Hubbard.
Yeah. Okay. Again, we do some very specific jokes that just, if one person laughs,
worth it.
Worth it. Hashtag give it to me. I'm worth it. Okay. So, I need to stop making jokes. So
Chechnya. Yay.
Chechnya. So of the 3 people that were killed, one of them was killed during the torture.
Oh, wow.
Which I actually am surprised it's only one.
Aren't you morbidly curious to know what the torture was like what they were doing?
I know. Yeah. Totally. And I tried to find that, and, they said that they were beaten, but I don't know what that means. They did say that there were some interviews with people that since escaped and described the experience, and it's been confirmed by human rights organizations and everything. But he described being like sitting down, having like clips put on his fingers, and being electrocuted. So that's at least one thing that's happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But get this, the two other so that was one person that died. Two other people was murdered. Two other people that were killed by their family in honor killings.
Oh God.
So they were returned back to their family, which fuck the phrase honor killings. I wanted, like, that's what they called it. Like, I want dishonor killings. Like, that's too, okay.
Yeah. If anything that your child does or says or is makes you want to kill them, maybe rethink your life.
Yeah. If you think there's something your child might do or say or be that might make you kill them, probably don't have kids. That's not for you.
Get in therapy, talk about why that is.
And buy a turtle. If you end up killing the turtle because he's gay, PETA will get angry, but you'll be a little bit.
I want a gay turtle.
I was walking down the street and someone like was letting their turtle out. And like, this is such a fucking Seattle thing of like someone, it was really cool turtle. It had like a kind of a spiky shell and back, and it was just slow. It's fucking slowish. I would be so annoyed when my dog walks a little slow. I'm like, hurry up! So like this fucking slow ass turtle going step, step. So, like, oh God.
You also ran into a cat party?
Oh my God, Mike, this was the most ridiculous thing. Yeah, it was like YouTube exploded in like one small area of the park. I was walking around with my boyfriend, Jack, who's my boyfriend. And well, no, we went to the park and then we saw two people just walk by and they were holding their cats on leashes. And they were like, we don't know where to go.
It was Cal Anderson Park, which is the big park in the gayest part of the city.
Big gay park.
Like you see all kinds of shit in that park.
So that was like, oh, look, there are cats out, but whatever. And then when we were leaving, we figured out why. It was because they were doing like a giant cat meetup or something. And I've never seen so many. You see one cat on a leash or outside of a home and you're like, what the fuck? Oh, that's cat. Like, but there were maybe 30 cats.
Wow.
And like 60 people. Like there were far more people because like people were like super interested and there were just cats everywhere and they were getting them all to play together and hang out, and it was so ridiculous. It was a little scary, and
then somebody came along and ethnically cleansed the cats.
Oh right. Oh God. I would be fine with a cleansing of cats. I think cats are evil.
Yeah,
and they all want to kill me.
Yeah, I don't know that
they're the homophobic ones.
I don't think cats are evil. I just think they're indifferent. Like, they don't give any shits about anything.
They know there'll be like a cat being like, oh, I'm such a cat and I'm playing and I'm cute and little baby cat. And then their owner will leave the room and it'll start walking towards me really slowly, like the girl from The Ring, and be like, I'm going to kill you. And then the owner comes back right before he gets to me and it's like, oh, just a little cat playing. It's happened before.
That's fantastic.
It's terrifying. Not as terrifying, though, as the Chechnya purge. Okay, so
I heard that some gay people got thrown off a roof. Was that in Chechnya? That might have been in Iran.
I didn't read anything about that, and I read, like, a handful of articles, so I don't know for sure, but...
Okay, great.
A spokesperson for their leader, Ramzan Kadyrov, said that, this is eerie, reports of an anti-gay program, nope, I knew I was going to do that, pogrom, had to be false because such men did not exist in Chechnya.
Yeah,
again, gay people don't exist. And then, okay, no, this is actually the eerie part, I forgot. When asked if this was an official policy, the spokesperson said, a policy is developed for a problem. I can officially say there is no policy because there is no problem. If there were a problem, there would be a policy.
Oh.
Does that remind you of anything?
Yeah.
What?
Iran.
Oh. That's not what I was expecting.
When Ahmadinejad said that there are no gay people
in
Iran.
Yeah. The logic loop, it reminds me of the detention centers that we have on the the Mexican border right now of like, this is policy, but it's not policy, and like, denying what's happening, but then it's also it's just like this crazy logic loop that they're pretending things don't exist. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway,
Fuckers are everywhere.
and their bullshit is bullshit. And when Kadyrov met with Putin, he said that the news reports were libelous. So at least a little credit for
fake news.
It's fake news, but like a little bit more intelligent word. Trump could not define libelous but it's the idea of fake news.
Fuckers.
And tiny bit of good news. The Moscow Community Center is helping people get out of Chechnya.
Oh.
But, the people said, like, we went with them because we had literally no other option, but we just assumed that, like, you can't trust anyone. You can't trust your friends might get tortured and out you. Your people might, like...
That's why I don't have any friends. It's just self-protective.
Yeah. I mean, in Russia, don't get too close to anyone. But, like, they didn't have any other options, but they said that organization, they just assumed that was like the final sweep the
final sweep.
It's what I call, like, when I do one more just like finger up the ass to be like, am I good? Like, is everything? That's just like the final sweep. All right. Yeah, I'll sit on it. But there are organizations, including the Moscow Community Center, that are helping people flee from Chechnya.
I'll be damned.
Fucked up and terrifying that these types of things are happening, will continue to happen.
Got a long ways to go. Things are pretty great here in Seattle, fucking liberal Washington.
Reading some of these things is like, all right, I want there to be like, I don't want to be able to get fired for being gay, but like, anyway.
Well, I have one more thing to talk about. Okay. So there are gay bars in Moscow and in St. Petersburg. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to go to at least one.
Okay. Do you know which one?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I'm going to investigate. I'll figure it out. But not just at gay bars. It also happens at straight bars. They have this fascinating Russian thing where somebody who looks like a bouncer is in charge of face control. That's what they call it, face control. Mm-hmm. Face control is two things. First, are you attractive enough to come in here?
Wow.
If the answer is no, go find another bar.
What?
Or deciding how much to charge you based on how attractive you are.
Oh, fuck.
Because they're trying to curate the most attractive, fun atmosphere that they can. So they discriminate based on age, color, nationality, perceived attractiveness, and there's a person whose job that is. But I'm super nervous about it.
Wow. Oh, my God. And you're going to, like...
Because I've heard, online I've read, that you should try to work in that you are foreign, because apparently that, like, is some sort of capital.
Wouldn't being American, like, they'd be like, ooh, come on in. Like, isn't that cool for them? Or something?
That's what they're saying. They're like, hey, before you get judged, speak English. Man, I had no idea that happened man, pretty people have it great. Right? Well, and what are the Russian standards of beauty also? I don't know.
Oh.
Like, maybe I would totally let Zachary Quinto in because fuck yeah. But
in what?
Yeah. Anything.
Any opening.
Yeah. But like what if he's not that hot in Russia? I don't know.
That's true.
Although the websites of the gay clubs that I have gone to in doing my research lead me to believe that they definitely know what's hot. Like
you agree with their like,
at least from the neck down, a lot of fucking smoking hot Russian bodies.
Because they don't want to put their faces on a website. That makes sense.
Their faces were on there too.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Oh, you were just less impressed with them?
Right.
So, but like the gay world is super judgy, and like that's just like one example, but like that's shit like you have to deal with all the time. It's just like you expect it to be a certain level of attractiveness to fit in, and I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah. Also, I think Russians are obsessed with drag queens. Every site has like a drag queen is headlining every night. It's so weird to me.
Do you think they get RuPaul tots or drag tots or whatever?
Drag tots?
Yeah,
maybe.
That might be why.
I kind of want to watch drag tots and do a shrinkage on it or something.
Okay. Let's definitely watch that.
Anyway, it was a quick segment, but that was face control.
I was thinking you were going to say like they don't want people to come by and be like arrest everyone, so they had to like make sure no one's face looked too gay.
So there are several of the clubs say that they have a secure entrance that you have to go, you have to buzz, and then the door, a little slot slides open and just eyes look at you, and they decide whether to let you in or not.
Like Dorothy getting to Oz,
which that's terrifying.
Yeah, although that's what the bathhouses do here.
Yeah,
I've heard.
Yeah,
from people that aren't me.
Yeah, when I went to Steamworks in Vancouver, it was like that.
Yeah.
We walked in and went up to it's almost like a ticket window for like the movie theater.
Yeah.
So there's a dude on the other side talking through a hole in the wall or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "You do know what kind of place this is, don't you?" Yes, I'm aware. Thank you.
Do you know where you are?
Yeah.
No, I didn't just walk up to a random door with no words on it and buzz. Like, what's this button? What's going to happen? Huh.
Can you imagine if you did, though?
Oh, my God.
If you weren't expecting that, you're just like going like bing bong and you're like, holy fuck, where am I?
But thank you for the free towel. That was nice of you.
Oh, God.
Okay, so you're still not Russia. You're still...
Yeah, it's going to be good. Be fine.
But we just said a bunch of sad words.
I know, but all of them involved gay people doing gay things, and I...
You're going to go down fucking scruff!
Oh, well...
You're going to do some gay things!
How sophisticated do you think they are?
Well, I don't know! That's what you don't know either!
Oh, God, okay. Kyle.
What?
I don't plan on dying in Russia.
How do you know? You're not in control of that. I'm trapped. I'm stuck in this voice. This is under this podcast.
Great. Should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Bye.
This is the part where Mike and Kyle take a break.
Isn't gender the same thing as sex?
How does somebody know what gender they are?
What the fuck is gender?
What if another person is saying someone's pronouns wrong and you've tried to correct them before but they just don't get it? Then what do you do?
Yell them and say, "Don't do that!"
Why do you think people, especially TERFs, try to use science to incorrectly proclaim that there are only two genders?
They, them, plural pronouns?
Is transgender the same as transsexual?
Am I allowed to just pick my gender?
What does cisgender mean?
Is gender real?
Is gender even real?
Honestly, what even is gender?
Welcome to Gender Reveal, a podcast where we ask intrusive personal questions and hopefully get a little bit closer to understanding what the hell gender is. We talk to trans people, non-binary people, queer people, activists, artists, educators, and anyone else who thinks way too much about this stuff. We're 2 seasons in, and we're just getting started. So subscribe to Gender Reveal in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and buckle up.
You guys, what even is gender?
Are we back?
We're back.
We're back.
I'm trying to overcompensate. Is it working?
It's because I'm a little hungover.
Oh, good.
My voice always gets really Barry White when I'm hungover.
Give me a Russian line of Coke. No, like a phrase say something Russian.
Like something that somebody could use?
No, just anything. Dazzle me. I won't know what you're saying, so it doesn't matter.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Майк. Я живу в городе Сиэтле в штате Вашингтоне.
What's that mean?
I think you can figure it out from context, can't you?
No. I heard Mike.
I said, hi, my name is Mike. I live in Seattle in the state of Washington.
Oh, I didn't hear those words. It just all blended together into a series of sounds that I didn't. Anyway, we're going to do our greatest and
We're going to
straightest.
do our greatest and straightest. But first, our website is gayishpodcast.com.
Our internet is facebook.com/groups/gayish podcast. And we have a bunch of other social media that is Gayish Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram.
Our hotline, we get text messages and voicemails, including from Russia soon, is 5855-GAYISH. That's 585-542-9474. Standard rates apply.
And our email is gayishpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yup. All right. Gayest and straightest.
Let's do our gayest and straightest. I'll go first.
Okay.
So the straightest thing about me this week, like I said, I'm not dieting for the month of July.
Mm-hmm. You've been doing keto. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what's, you and everyone has been doing keto.
Right. Yeah.
Fruit sales are down.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Lost 30 pounds, but I'm like, okay, I'm going on July. For July, I'm going on this big trip. I'm clearly not going to diet on the trip. So I just said, I'm just not going to diet for July because my brain likes symbols, right? So then if I'm like August 1st, I'm back on the shit, then I know that I'll stick with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the straightest thing about me this week has been some of the shit that I've been putting in my face. just like horrible, like fast food and all the beer All of the beer.
You're like a renaissance of beer drinking for you, right? Like you haven't had it in how long? Months?
Yeah, months. Yeah.
And also like the idea of like gays, you're not supposed to eat fast food or eat like you're supposed to eat nothing and, you know, drink some air water and, you know, like have cucumber and
vodka soda.
Well, that's what I actually drink. Although I make it a flavored vodka soda, like a pear vodka soda. So then people think
Pear vodka is fucking disgusting.
No.
It's fucking disgusting.
Just because you and all of our friends and everyone that tries it thinks so doesn't make it true.
Well, they're making it, so somebody must be drinking it, unless you are single-handedly propping up the pear vodka industry.
Oh. Hey, sponsor us, Pear Vodka. It's so good. Try it. Okay. If anyone has any kind of like vodka itch, give it a shot and let us know what you think of it. And someone help me out, support me.
Back me up. It's fucking terrible. The gayest thing about me, I went to the Elysian Brewery, and it was July 1st, diets off. They had a special on their Pride gay beer called Glitterous. And I drank 2 pints of Glitterous. And I felt so gay ordering it. I was like...
saying I want some Glitterous? Yeah,
I want some Glitterous, please. Pride is over, but that doesn't mean that the party has to stop.
No. How was Glitterous?
It's good. People say that it's supposed to taste like rosé, and they were trying to get you to drink it because it tastes like rosé. Like my neighbors, Kelly and Jeremy, were like, Kyle needs to drink this. It tastes like rosé. It does. It tastes like rosé. But I don't think that you will like it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like rosé flavored beer, and the beer part, you're just going to turn your nose up at it and say, fuck this noise.
Like if I'm drinking something that's almost rosé, I'm just going to make me even more like, why am I not just drinking rosé right now?
Right.
Like when you order not your usual at a restaurant and it's bad, you're like, oh man, I could be eating my whatever the thing. You know,
stick with what you know. Don't try anything.
Don't try new things. Go with what you know. Drink rosé and just, you know, clean your balls. That's my advice.
All right, you're up.
The straightest thing about me is my boyfriend Jack, who is my boyfriend.
Allegedly.
No, he came out last night. No, I'm sorry. That was a weird pause. I didn't mean to do. He came out with us last night, so I need you to confirm that he's real, Mike.
Oh, I've met him several times.
I know, but you need to. Okay. And he was not a voice. You met him not as a voice in my head. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
As a separate, distinct person.
Right.
That exists.
He wanted spankings.
Yes. And he got them.
Yep.
We were at Fetish Night the other night. And, you know, it's just a thing about him.
Yep.
That I love. He, in addition to getting spanked, likes cooking for me, which is perfect because I hate cooking.
Yeah, you do.
And so like, you know, sitting down and like hanging out and watching TV while someone cooks for you feels like a straight thing. You know, it's like,
yeah.
You know,
like your wife is barefoot and pregnant and making dinner for you.
And I'm like, where's my pie?
Yeah.
He didn't make me pie, but he makes me delicious food. And yeah, it's like people would try to grab onto that as being like, oh, you're the man and and it's like ridiculous. But my gayest thing this week, I met some of your fraternity brothers, of which you have many. And one of them's name is Kyle. Mm-hmm. And whenever I meet another Kyle, they're always gay. Ooh, sorry. And it just reminds me, like, the name Kyle is pretty gay.
Yeah.
I
have a cousin named Kyle who thinks he's not gay.
He doesn't realize how gay he is yet.
I mean, he votes Republican.
Oh, I did that when I was straight, Kyle. And it's, I think in like Shrek or Shrek 2 or something, they like made a joke about like a super gay prince, and like the name Kyle was in like big bold lights that like he was in Chicago or something. And like, so this week it's my name. It's Kyle.
I agree.
Thank you.
It is gay.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it.
This has been Gayish. A special thank you, as always, to Charlie Finn for the use of our theme music.
And a special thank you to all the Russians who don't stab Mike.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
And thank you to Tsar False Dmitri I for his super strong penis that allowed him to get drug around town.
Yeah. So, and thank you to everyone. We love everyone. You all are beautiful and amazing. And
I think you're okay.
Fantastic. World's okayest fans.
Wish me luck. Gonna be gone 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll get some updates from you and stay tuned for our special surprise guest.
Do you want me to bring anything back from Russia?
Yeah.
For you?
Yeah. A strong penis, I think. I'm just going to stick with that.
You can probably buy those there. I don't know.
Sure.
You have to stand in line a long time.
It's like waiting for an iPhone.
Yeah, or toilet paper.
Wait, you have to wait for toilet paper?
That used to be a thing.
Oh.
Like there was no toilet paper in Soviet Union.
They just did the hand business?
Yep.
Okay.
Great. I'm Mike Johnson.
I'm Kyle Getz. Until next week, be butch, be fabulous, be you.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Na zdrowie.
Mom, ba-da-ba.
Back it up and hear me as I will sing. Hey, and by the way, do you hear what your words bring? Oh, P.S. I'm gay.
Добро пожаловать начинали. No, I can't do that. Добро пожаловать, товарищи. Давайте начинать наш подкаст. Это Gayish.